Whoa. Okay. You want to kill Charles? Funny joke, kid. Real funny. Okay, so one thing I am curious about. One thing I am kind of curious about is like the mechanic of like Charles can only travel on a track, right? Like I know he has spider legs, but it seems like he only travels on a train track still. So like couldn't he just lift himself up off of the train track and just travel on his spider legs? Couldn't you like if he can only travel on a track, that seems like pretty easy to kill him. You can just literally shoot him from the side. But it'd be cool to see him like get off the tracks and like run after you. I don't know. We'll have to see how that'll work, but scraps added. You know that TikTok sound that's like, at first I said feet as a joke or something. I don't think it's a joke anymore. That's literally what I think of when I think of this. Like, they're like, oh, let's make a game about a killer train that kills people. And it's like, haha. I don't think it's a joke anymore. Like, this looks actually hella scary. It looks pretty well done, to be honest with you. The train is like a hybrid of like a spider train, which is kind of interesting. It kind of adds like a very creepy element to it, which I'm like kind of into. It seems like you're like playing as a person, but you also get to like build a train and travel around as you go and kind of like chase Charles and try and kill him. Very creepy. Like Charles they did a good job on him. He's very creepy with like the big grin and like all the teeth. I noticed that a lot of it looks sketched, like the train conductor guy that you talk to, he looks like he's sketched, and some of the controls on the train have like a sketched feature, which is kind of cool. It doesn't look like Thomas the Tank Engine. Like, I don't know why I thought it was. I mean, it's Charles and Thomas. It's similar. They could be brothers or something. Insane. Okay, so this is like the creator of Choo Choo Charles, I guess. Alright, Mr. Two Star. I didn't realize he created Choo Choo Charles. Wishlist on Steam. Okay. Yeah, let's see what he has to say.
Weapon that you can use to absolutely obliterate Mr. Charles, the fantastic spider train. So the first thing I did to start this process, and I don't know why I thought this was a good idea, but I decided to ask Twitter what ideas they had for crazy weapons. One of the answers that I got a lot that I decided to make was a flamethrower. Alright, so now that I knew what kind of gun I was going to be making, I need to come up with a general design for it. So I looked at some references, drew a basic sketch, which I got started making some fuel tanks to fuel the flamethrower, and they look pretty nice in game. With those done, I started modeling the flamethrower itself in Blender. I took the model, threw it into Unreal, slapped some materials on it, and hey presto, now I got a flamethrower. But now comes the first really big problem. At the moment, there's just the one default machine gun mounted on the train, but I need to make a weapon switching system. Rather than just switching through weapons by like scrolling the scroll wheel or by hitting keys on the keyboard, I decided it would be cool to put all of the available weapons or all the weapons that you've unlocked inside your train cab, and then you go and click on them to equip the different guns. So I put the flamethrower right on top of the default machine gun and made it so that equipping each gun will toggle the visibility of all the other guns so that only the correct gun is visible when it's equipped. So now that the first big problem was solved, I had another problem, which was the flamethrower actually needs to throw flames. Who would have guessed? Like right now, it's just sitting here looking pretty rather than looking like an aggressive spider roasting weapon of doom, which is obviously what I want it to look like. So after downloading some different fire particles and tweaking them a bit, the flamethrower can now throw flames. Heck yes. At this point, the flamethrower was still using the default machine gun screen shake, and that just looked really weird, so I made a new screen shake, and Wait. So
Uh-oh.
anyways, I ended up fixing the
That ain't right.
POV effect, so it's not quite so atrocious. The flamethrower still felt really lame to use though. So I decided to make it so that whatever the flames hit will actually catch on fire. At first this was really laggy, so I had to optimize the
cool.
flame so that,
I like that.
roasting Charles wouldn't also roast your computer. And now I'm gonna show you the finished flamethrower, all the effects and everything. And remember, this is just the most tame gun I added. The next two are even crazier.
Wow, so crazy.
Alright, so with that wimpy little baby gun completed, it's time to move up the food chain. So I had this idea in my head for a gun that would be like double-barreled, super long range, and have like shields on it. I'm just calling it range gun because it has a long range. I think I get a level up for coming up with such a fantastic name. So I modeled the range gun and set it up in my whole weapon switching system, and in-game it just looks so dope. It's masterfully crafted. I really like it. Most of the process of adding this gun was pretty simple and actually pretty similar to adding the flame.
Okay, can I just say how crazy it is how people make games? Like, I am in awe of just this, like, white boy who just made a whole game. Like, you have to go through so many mechanics to, like, just even the flamethrower. Like, design what it looks like. Design the tanks you have to find in the game to use it. Design the screen shake. Like, design what it looks like when you equip it to your train. Like, design what the flame looks like. Like, it's crazy. I really applaud people who make games. It has a lot of, like, kickback, though.
Okay, so the last weapon is one that I personally really wanted to add, but it's also one that everybody on Twitter was really excited to see. By the way, you can follow me at 2star Games on Twitter if you want to be involved in more polls and votes and other cool stuff. But the weapon that we chose is a rocket launcher. Now, I don't know anything about rocket launchers, except that they are the biggest boomers of all time. So I watched some videos of people using them, and now I am a rocket scientist. And now, using my fantastic cognitive rocket science abilities, I will make this rocket launcher. So I modeled it in Blender, obviously added the materials in Unreal, looks pretty nice, and set it up on the equipable wall of doom. To make the rocket launcher, I actually had to make a projectile in the game that would shoot out of the launcher. So I tried setting up this system, and initially it kind of worked. I had a projectile that would fly out of the launcher, but it would only ever register hitting the ground like half of the time. So I came up with the most rocket scientist big brain idea, and that's to put a line trace on the rocket, and it actually worked really well. Was that smart? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. But it works, so I don't really care either way. Now that I have the basic projectile done, I just need to add as many effects as possible to just make this super cool and fun to use. So I added a fire trail and started working a little bit more on the explosions. And just for fun, I decided to scale the explosions up from 1 to 10. And it was... now they're nukes. The rocket launcher was still shooting at the same speed as the machine gun, so I could just rain hellfire upon Charles
Stop.
like it's nothing. So I added a delay between shots as well as a reloading animation, also added some screen shake and some sound effects, and now I present to you the hardest to make and most incredibly amazing weapon in all of Choo Choo Charles.
Whoa. That's baller.
Wow, gee golly. How neat. I don't have in-game names for any of these weapons yet. Give me some ideas and I'll use some in the game. So anyways, be sure to download.
I don't care what anyone says, adding like mature, like creepy animations and creepy storylines to a childlike subject is terrifying. It like makes it that much more creepy than it's something so simple. You guys have seen the Ronald game, right? And it takes place at a McDonald's. If you think I should play it, leave me a comment down below or like this video. Anyways, I love the idea of mixing like childlike stuff with horror. I think it's super creepy and takes it to a new level. Alright, well, that's the video for today. Super excited to play the game. Hope you guys will play along with me. It should come out sometime next year. Add it to your wish list on Steam so you know exactly when it'll come out. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.